And the vascular layer, this is what they call the pigmented layers that we see. The choroid layer and our choroid region, this again is going to be a brown pigment that absorbs light and prevents the scattering. You're going to get a cow eye? No, lamb eye, sheep eye, and they've got a different choroid layer in there than we have. They can actually see at night, and they better be able to see at night because the wolves come in at night, right? And they need to be able to protect themselves. And if you notice, when you look at a cow's eyes at night and there's a little bit of light and it looks, what color?
White, green, like
It's a yellowish.
like it just
red.
It's,
Reflective?
it's red. It is red. And it is because of this other material. Our choroid layer is just brown. Yeah.
Now, how is that gonna look when we're dissecting the sheep eye or the lamb eye compared to something like this? Is it gonna be
Very
thicker, or
similar,
bit
except
thicker?
that one part.
How will that one part look?
It
Is
won't be
just gonna-
brown.
Won't be. What
Yeah,
is it gonna be
it-
red or?
It's gonna look like abalone shell.
Okay.
It's gonna look like an opal. So it's a very opalescent, and again, it's trying to gather as much light
Right,
and
right.
that so that they can
Like
try.
a cat eye, in a way?
Yeah, they
Like
also
a lot
have
of
it.
animal
Yeah.
eyes.
They also have it, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Deer.
You take a picture
Yeah.
of a cat
Yeah.
at night.
They
Now, how
also,
similar-
They look demonic.
sorry?
Sheep eyes are really similar to ours, aren't they? Other than the night.
all these eyes are really
Yeah,
similar to
they're
ours.
Pretty
Yeah,
close.
it's pretty,
Yeah.
it is pretty close, yeah. The choroid region is going to supply all the blood to the layers of the eye. So even though there's not blood running within the posterior and anterior chambers, it has to be highly vascularized. And so the choroid layer is essentially doing that. Definitely make notes on the ciliary body. This one is going to be surrounding the lens. And the ciliary body is what is going to be able to pull on the suspensory ligaments. And you named that the other day. And basically, what is going to happen with that, these are the ligaments that are going to be able to flatten the lens and let it bulge. So it's giving that ability there. So again, make sure you highlight ciliary bodies and suspensory ligaments. They're really, really important. This is also where you're going to get all the generation of the aqueous humor. The aqueous humor is in the front anterior chamber. Vitreous humors are in the posterior chamber. So you're going to get that. In that particular region from there. Now the iris is the next part of this, and the iris, of course, everyone knows where that is. That is going to be the colored part of the eye that you're seeing. And the iris is basically smooth muscle. So it is muscle. It is not something you have control over. So it's not skeletal muscle, it's smooth muscle. And it is going to be responding to sympathetic and parasympathetic reactions. It's also going to be responding to light. So we see that too. The pupil is going to be able to allow the perfect amount of light come in. So right now we have pretty good lighting in this room. Our pupils should be fairly constricted. And then if we turned off the lights, they should end up opening up and become fairly dilated. And you would see that. When you go in to get a really thorough eye exam, they can actually give you an anesthetic that relaxes that muscle and allows complete dilation of the iris. And the purpose of that is, Damien, if you want to grab one of those little packs that are in there, and so they're right there in that box. Yeah.
No.
No, not that one. It's one of the packs.
Damien.
There you go. And in there, they have an ophthalmoscope. And no, you just open it up. It's just an ophthalmoscope, and this is where the optometrist shines the light in your eye and is just about kissing you and rubbing noses with you because they're like so on top of you. But what they're able to do, looking in through that hole, they can end up seeing the entire posterior chamber of the eye. They can look for bulging vessels. They can look for retina detachments. So they can look at the optic nerve coming in. They can look for inflammation, all kinds of stuff. And I think all those are charged up. If you guys wanted to play with them, you can certainly do